As promised, in my talk about don't despise the small things, I brought my mom in, Mabel Robertson, and just wanted to ask her a few questions because I also realized even with legacy, sometimes you need to know how the story started. And I just want to start this particular story with where she was. So, Mom, I was thinking, what do you remember about me being small and, a little girl at 6 and wanting to sew?
Okay, Carla. Well, what I do remember is that before you started to sew, I was making clothes for me and for you. And when Rhonda came along, I made us all dresses
Okay.
just alike. And somehow or other, you took up on that and wanted to learn how to sew. So I think we did some things by hand first, and then we got a sewing machine. And carefully, I let you uh, put your fingers on the sewing machine, warning you not to let the needle, go
Okay.
into your hand. And eventually,
Mm-hmm.
we were in the bedroom uh, with the sewing machine in front of the window
Okay.
where we could look out. And then, as things got better and we got a different sewing machine, we moved into the den area, and we also put the sewing machine in front of the window. So we were always where we could see out. And I just remember that each time that I showed you something, I was always saying, you would show me something and say, Mom, this looks good. And I'm saying, let me see the inside.
I remember that.
Because that's the story of whether or not you're
Mm-hmm.
doing it well. And I think even today, you look on the inside
Sure.
because
Sure.
uh, it's kind of like what we are on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
We can look good, but what's our heart like? What's going on inside? And you have just taken up. So sewing is not just making things. Sewing is a lifestyle with you.
Yeah, y'all see where I got all that wisdom from? So, I kind of remember, I was doing some kind of doll stuff probably back then, and
Right.
wanted to play teacher, and
Mm-hmm.
and to see even what I'm doing now of actually teaching other people how to sew.
By the way, we still have one of the dolls, a little black doll that we had that you
Ooh.
made the little outfit. I keep that. I
Oh
still
wow!
have
Okay, I
that.
need to
So
see that.
we have that.
Okay, but I often tell my mom this because I think it's very important for any of us is when you know where you came from, then you know that it didn't start with you, and you also know to go back to them, which I tell her all the time. Wherever I go, whatever I do, Mom, you're with me because whether I teach one person or I'm teaching 25 people at a time or whatever it is, it's like you're teaching them because you taught me. So
Yeah.
where sometimes she thinks I just did a little sewing, you did so much. I got it from her. Trust me, I got all of that from her. And I've even found out that in our history, there
Mm-hmm.
were seamstresses in our
Yes.
family
Yes.
on both sides.
That I didn't even know
Yeah,
about for
right.
years.
Yeah, we
Didn't know
found
about
out,
that.
and you know, when my grandfather passed away some years ago, I had a cousin. Never knew about him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think you knew about
I
him at the
didn't.
time.
I didn't.
And he came from California to the funeral to let us know he heard he had a cousin that could sew, and he wanted to come meet her.
Mm-hmm.
And so we became fast friends. I've gone to the Bay Area several times to just go out there with him. He's a tailor of men's clothes and all kinds of things. And I was just like, this is amazing that I'm connected in a lot of ways to what I do. It didn't start with me. And so I look at how, I started, in the bedroom because that's where the
Mm-hmm.
sewing machine was. She had a
Mm-hmm.
Kenmore. I have
Mm-hmm.
a picture of that Ken. We have a Kenmore back then. And to see what this has progressed to,
Mm-hmm.
I often say I could not have imagined this life.
Right.
based on sewing in the bedroom. This was not some dream I had that one day I would be doing what I do, but to see where all of this has gone to, it lets me know that a lot of the things that we want to do, desire to do, it starts when we're young. It's a dream birthed in us when we're small, and sometimes we forget that even now, even though it seems like my dream is not here, it does not mean that your dream can't be lived out. It just may look different. It may look totally different. As a matter of fact, my mom started out. Her aunt, I think she started out with piano lessons, teaching her how to play the piano
at 6 years old.
Yeah, and so she's a piano teacher.
Yes.
All the different types of credentials that people have. She is just gifted. Yes, she went to some music school. She went to college for some music. But she is just gifted in this area of teaching, especially kids, how to play the piano. There are people that I still meet that say, I remember Miss Robertson, and she taught me how to play the piano. I still know how to play 2 or 3 notes. And that just, it really does something for you to know that whatever your beginning is. I mean, she started teaching piano in our living room.
Right.
I mean, we didn't even have a den. We was like the living room. The piano was right there when you walked in the door. She was teaching. And so when I look at our beginnings,
right,
in her house with no furniture on the floor, we were happy kids because we didn't know we didn't have furniture until we got older and looked at pictures and say, you know what, we were on the floor a lot. We were on pallets on the floor. We didn't have furniture. And we didn't know the difference. We just knew it was fun,
Right.
Pull each other around on the pallet on the floor, So when I look at where I started and what I'm doing now, I could not have imagined at all going to other countries. I had a friend, Mary, who told me when I first started teaching, she said, before you know it, you'll have 500 students. And I thought, that's a big number. That's what I said to myself, not knowing what was going to come from all of this. And lo and behold, I mean, I'm sure that I have surpassed that number since 1999 of 500 people. And so we're just thankful that our lives can be used to glorify God with the gifts He gave us, because we had no idea. There was no plan on us becoming who we are today. We just like, okay, Lord, what's next? But I wanted you to get a chance to meet my mom, to know where my small beginnings started. And she knows this. I'm grateful whether I'm talking to one person or many people, to let them know that there's no way I could say I made it, or this is something big for me. It's always been something kind of one-on-one, and however it turns out, I'm okay with it.
Right.
So, Mom, you have any other
I just want to say
wisdom to pass on to
how proud I am of this girl. I really am proud of you. I'm proud of you as an entrepreneur, but I'm proud of you as a Christian, as a disciple of Christ, and how you don't want people to just know how to sew. You want them to know how to sew with God in mind. And so we can't beat that. We can't beat that. Can't beat that. Love you.
Love you too.
Love you. Love you.